Welcome, everyone. It's so amazing to see all of you here. And once again, welcome to Riga. My name is Liva, and this is Aris, and we will be your stage hosts at the Founder Stage for a little while and try to entertain you a little bit. The most important thing that is happening today is, of course, the 50 Founders Battle, the annual TechChill startup competition. This is the place to be where you can meet all of the most promising startups from not just the Baltics, but all over Europe. And you will meet them in batches. However, we will also have some content today. We will talk about building culture, exits in music tech, VCs in the Baltics, saviors of sharks, and a few more content. However, this is not the only stage. Right now, we have some agenda just starting on the other two stages that we have here at TechChill. On Muse stage, you will hear a bit more about the value proposition of accelerators, and on the Huddle stage, you will hear about VCs reconsidering investing in defense tech. But let's get back to 50 Founders Battle. Aris.
Yes, thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited. To me personally, 50 Founders Battle is the highlight of TechChill. And for those who are sticking around, you're in for a treat. If you saw Nordics just right now, they actually won 50 Founders Battle in 2016. So if you win this in 6 years, you get the big bucks. So there's a lot of motivation for the startups to win. And actually, there's so much more, so many prizes, a lot of investment. We have a syndicate investment from Bad Ideas Fund of 150K, another 150K from Depot Ventures from Czech Republic, 50K from Build It, and up to 250K from Look AI Ventures. But that's not all. We also have a community prize of 10,000 euros with no strings attached. Do with it as you please. And this actually comes from the community. So Gravity Team, Localize, Longenesis, EasyBI, Selfie, Helvet, True6, and Change Ventures have all contributed to this prize. And on top of that, a bunch of other things, including a prize from Draper University, which I think is a really cool one. I know that Nick from Vocal Image, who won last year, is in the venue, and he now has a really nice picture walking alongside with Tim Draper. So that's something you can get as well. But, so how it works, very traditional. We have a 3-minute pitch, followed by 2 minutes of Q&A, 5 batches, 10 startups in each of the batches, and only one from each batch moves on to the finals tomorrow. And obviously, we need a jury, and luckily we have our jury members there on the high chairs, so they will have an eagle-eyes view on the startups and will be ready to judge them. Applause for the jury. And actually, let's use the opportunity to get to know the jury a little bit. So I will introduce you, and I would be happy to hear a sentence or two about who you are and what you're about. So first off, Zuzana from H3 Capital. Can we get sound for the jury, please?
Hello?
No?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. I'm Susanna. I'm the investor manager at H3 Capital. We are a pan-European fund, multi-stage, based in Berlin and Munich. We start as early as tickets from €500,000 can go all the way up to €50 million initial check, and some of our, I would say, top portfolio companies include SumUp, HelloFresh, Flixbus, Depop, and a few others.
All right, thank you, Susanna. Tamina from 8 Roads.
Hello, everyone. I think this is working. So I'm Tamina from 8 Roads, based in London, but we cover all of Europe from there. It's a global fund, and we typically invest through A through C, so around 10 to 30 million initial ticket. And as a native Swede, I cover Nordics and Baltics, and so very excited to be here.
All right, lovely to have you. Robert from Fiedler Capital.
Hi, my name is Robert. I'm based in Vienna. Fiedler Capital is a pre-seed fund focused on CE and the Baltics. We had a few successful pre-seed investments, including companies like Bitrise and Sion in our first fund, and now we're deploying the second fund. We recently made led a deal here in Latvia, our first deal, TraceSpace. So very excited to be here and meet new startups.
Great, great. Hoping for many more to come. Jan from Depot Ventures.
Hi, Depot Ventures is a fund based in the Czech Republic, but we are investing all around sea and Baltics as well. So far we have over 35 investment. 5 or 6 are in Baltic, so we are quite active there and focusing on pre-seed and seed investment.
And last but not least, sitting at the very peak, Siim from Lemonade Stand.
Thanks, man. Hi, I'm Siim. I'm from Lemonade Stand from Estonia, and I'm looking for my first Latvian investment. It's the third time I'm here. Let's make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah, but focus is pre-seed, Baltics, East Europe. Portfolio has companies like Verif, Montonio, Interactio, Biomatter from Lithuania. So yeah, Latvians, come on.
Right, fingers crossed for that first investment. Okay, we know the jury. So, is the jury ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the audience ready? Okay, so let's get this started. And our first pitch comes from TerraWaste, which turns non-recyclable materials into valuable materials.
Hello, everybody. 8 years until irreversible climate disaster will occur for you, for me, for your children, and for everybody. More than 450 UN signatories have said that they can't comply with the 2030 goals, and more than 5,000 companies all over Europe will pay billions in fines because they are not recycling enough. And the problem is that only 25% of the recycled material demand can be met by 2030 with existing technologies. Of course, there are other companies and technologies that are solving this problem, but they still pollute the environment, they use enormous amounts of energy, and they can deal with limited feedstocks. That's why TerraWaste is developing the most energy sufficient and sustainable technology inspired by the biomimicry of Mother Earth. So we can do what Mother Earth does in 10 million years in 45 minutes alone. So we are using plastic waste, we pressure cook it, and then turn it into oil that can be used for different material production. Our process is 100% stable, sustainable, we can produce 85% of yield, and we use 50% less energy than any other competing technology. Our oil is good enough to be used for food-grade plastics production, packaging production, automotive plastics, and many, many other products. And we are in line with UN SDGs as well. The team behind TerraWaste has more than 20 years of experience in oil and gas system engineering and more than 40 years of experience in business development, sustainability, and market analysis. Our advisory board is very well connected globally, and they are actively taking part in our success. Over the last 12 months, we have signed 6 letters of intent, signed a pilot commitment in Austria, went through Techstars acceleration program, and produced our first oil. And we have formed new partnerships with Ernst & Young, Amazon, and Green Tech Campus in Austria, and many others. In the next 2 years, we will build our first pilot plant in Austria with a capacity of 100 liters of waste per hour, and we will be ready for industrial scale by 2028. Our current market focus is on automotive and packaging industries, which are evaluated at approximately 5 billion euros. We are a technology-as-a-service type of a company, and our main income streams are from lab tests, EPC contracts, licensing, and oil sales. Our vision is to enable the world's transition to sustainable materials and recycle waste at gigaton scale. We're looking for industrial partners and 4 million euros of seed investment for our development. 8 years. The clock is ticking. Thank you.
The clock is ticking indeed. Okay, jury, are we ready for some questions?
Maybe I have a question. Who are your customers, and if you've already reached to them, and what's their feedback so far?
Our customers are mainly based in Austria and the Netherlands at the moment. They are very excited about the technology, and comparing to other chemical recycling technologies, we have proven to them that we can recycle waste at lower energy capacities and with higher quality of the output material. And so far, the feedback has been very, very positive, and we actually can't build the plant soon enough so that they can actually see how it works live and actually start licensing it from there.
I have a question. So when it comes to the supply, how easily accessible is it? And is it going to be part of your operations, third party, or is this going to be provided by the end customers?
Right, so currently we are focusing on placing our operations next to the customer. So basically they are providing the waste stream already from their production lines. So if we're talking about packaging or automotive industry companies, they have these big manufacturing sites and they are producing waste right there on spot. So we are placing the plant right next to their operations and recycling from there. So we are eliminating one side of the logistics and therefore making our process a lot more sustainable because we're not burning fuel to bring plastics from one place to another.
A quick one from Siim.
Yeah. Have you changed the business model? You kind of said that you're licensing this technology, but you're still building your own plant. Is that just a test facility and later someone else will do it, or what's the plan?
Yeah, so we are planning to build at least 2 or 3 pilot plants, which will be the specified for the specific waste streams, so plastics, organic waste, agricultural waste, for example. And then we can bring customers to these sites and then actually introduce them to the technology and then license from there. Thank you.
Thank you. Applause to TerraWaste. And next up, we have Overly, which lets anyone create AR experiences without outsourcing.
Thank you. It's very different here. Nice intro. All right, so my name is Einars, and I'm a co-founder of Overly. And Overly is an augmented reality platform that helps e-commerce stores increase revenue. So e-commerce is tough, and we know it. Everyone is thinking about how to increase conversions, how to increase loyalty, and how to decrease the returns. And we have a solution. Imagine if you could try out products before purchasing them in your own environment. And this, by the way, is not real sofa. But this is how you could try almost any product in your environment. It can be interior design, decor, or it can be fashion and much more. We believe that in the near future, e-commerce will not be able to do e-commerce without augmented reality. So this is why we have created a platform where it is easy to create augmented reality experiences without any outsourcing. So it means that now e-commerce stores can implement a 3D view of their model and augmented reality in just under 10 minutes. But why would they do it? So research shows that by implementing 3D and AR into their stores can increase conversion rates by up to 94%, loyalty by 79%, and decrease returns by 40%. And that's quite a big change for e-commerce. So how did we get here? We started out with inbound marketing since day one, and we are doing it really well, actually much better than all the competition. Yet it also brought a bit of challenge for us. We have a lot of different users with different use cases. So we decided to niche down on e-commerce, as this is where we can give the most value to our customers. So right now, we're testing different outbound channels so that we can find the best way to acquire new customers. With that, we will get to really precise unit economics, and then it's all about the scaling. We offer a subscription-based business model where customers choose the tier depending on how many products they wish to integrate. This is our founding team, me and Gatis. We have been working together more than 9 years. We have been running a successful agency business, which we exited last year, actually this January, so that we can solely focus on this product. We have been going through really high highs, really low lows, so I could say that we have tested our partnership really well. And since last year, there's a team that has joined us, and thanks to them, we are seeing really rapid product growth. So we are looking for 500,000 euros investment. With that money, we'll get to really precise unit economics on how to scale further. We'll get to 30K MRR, and we'll build a product like no other. So yeah, that's about it. I have 20 seconds left, but I guess it will be more questions then. Thank you.
All right. Jury, Seam.
Yeah, what about the traction now? You said the target MRR, but where are you today?
Yeah, so we started out with inbound, so that brought us 18,000 registered users to our platform. Right now, we have 140 paying customers with 7,000 euros MRR. But it's going to be changing a bit on the upside because we're changing the business model and approach to our customers soon.
Damina?
And in terms of your ideal customers, how do you target the inbound and what's the target persona that you go after?
Sure. So right now there are more than 12 million e-commerce stores online, out of which 2.5 are Shopify stores. So we start with these Shopify stores first. And now we are going after the interior design companies because this is where we get the most value. And a lot of them have the 3D models to do this. They just don't have the tools to implement it easily. Then we're going to switch to more different product types so that we can give more and more stores. If we speak about only the Shopify, we expect around 1 million potential customers for us, but then there is WooCommerce and other stores as well.
Robert?
Yeah, how does the end consumer experience the technology?
Yeah, so basically they go to a website, they can see the model from all angles, then they press on AR button, they scan the QR code, and they place it, like I showed the sofa, in their environment. Or if it's fashion, then it's going to be like other ways, but basically that's the way it goes usually, yeah.
And last one from Jan.
So I assume that it's embedded in their eShop, right? So how does the onboarding process look like? And do they actually need you, or it's everything automatic?
They don't need us in most cases. We have a Shopify plugin that we have just launched. So they just install the Shopify plugin, log in into our platform, and upload the 3D model, for example, the sofa. And they have a subscription-based model, which they choose on our platform to pay. Yeah, I guess I answered the question. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Another round of applause for Overlay.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Data Against Data, or DAD for short. And DAD helps you figure out which companies hold your data and then delete it. Thank you.
Oh, this is bad. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Alex, and I'm the founder of Data Against Data. I'm 38 years old, and I'm a Christian and a Democrat. I'm passionate about law, science, and old Japanese cars, and this is my credit card information. I don't have any STDs, but if I did, hundreds of companies would know before my wife. The data we leave behind gets breached, hacked, and exposed, and this just happens like time after time after time. And that's no wonder that 1 in 5 Europeans is a victim of identity fraud. We need to start deleting, especially now that privacy laws gave us new rights all around the world. But where can you start? Well, this is why we created AgainstData.com, which we call internally the Tinder of data privacy. It's as simple as sign in with your Gmail account, and then you discover how many companies hold your data. And then you can simply ask for deletion with just one click, time after time after time. And when that happens, a legal template is sent directly from your inbox. And when that template reaches a company, that company has a legal obligation to search, identify, and delete the data from its platforms. And not only that, it also has to ask its partners to do the same, and everything needs to happen in under 30 days. Companies really want to comply, but as you can imagine, it's quite difficult. And this is why we also created a business-to-business solution to help with that. So what it does, it helps companies discover where they hold that personal data, which employees use it, and to what purpose. So we have two complementary products, one that offers privacy made real for the individual, and the other one that offers privacy process management for companies. The solution will be paid by the companies, starting at $149 per month, and it will be free for the individual because it creates a sales funnel for us. Our first 2,800 users have already sent 12,700 requests to about 1,700 companies. All these companies successfully completed the task, but 278 failed. And these were our first leads, and we're happy to say that we've already signed 3 letters of intention. But this is just the beginning. As users grow, authorities enforce the legislation more and more. We're looking at a market of about 3 million companies. Our main competitor is focused on the US market, while we are focused on the EU market. We've already launched in Romania, and we're getting ready to launch in UK in May. The team has complementary skills like advertising, strategy, and sales, and we're surrounded by a bunch of other wonderful people. We aim to raise 0.7 million to help companies achieve a managed privacy process. And that was us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So, jury, how are you feeling about this? Any questions?
Alex, maybe I have a question. So when it comes to the go-to-market, I'm still struggling to sort of understand who are you going first? Are you going from B2C to B2B, or are you going the other way around?
We started with B2C. So anyone can go see which companies have their data and just send deletion requests. And we see which companies answer those deletion requests, and we see which companies don't answer in 30 days. So that means that they need our business-to-business solution. And this is the initial idea for go-to-market.
So what's their incentive to basically pay for the solution on the widen the monetization on the B2B side?
Well, it's a legal requirement to have something that it's called like a registry of processing activities. So this is a very simplified version of what we do. But you need to know where your data is, who owns it, and so on. And this is a legal requirement, and people think it's only in the EU, but 71% of the countries around the world have already adopted privacy legislation.
Robert?
Yeah, just do you, like I tried the product, or wanted to try the product, but then I saw that you actually required to read my emails. So can you envision like a less intrusive approach in the future for consumers to maybe test out your solution?
So this is the beginning. The reality is that we need one data point from you in order to see who has your data. And like we all know, the email works as a passport online. Everything that we do, we need to identify, at least for now, with the email. As these identification methods will change, Web3 and so on, there will be a lot of other ways that we can do this. So yes, this was the first iteration.
All right, thank you. Another round of applause for Data Against Data. Next up, we have Codigy, which helps companies to make faster and safer releases by diagnosing inefficiencies in code base behavior.
Hello, founders, investors, engineers. I'm Igor, co-founder of Codigy. Like most people here, I build software. And we're all interested in seeing results of our work fast. Unfortunately, engineering is slow, and adding new features gets harder over time. Companies lose 85 billion on technical debt every year. It makes engineering slow. For large companies, it's just the tip of the iceberg. They worry about finding the right owners for the code, making sure teams can work independently, organizing code for easier and safer work. To solve these problems, we created Codigy. it is a visual tool that makes engineering faster. We solve ownership, increase autonomy, and make code base easier. Engineering leaders can visually see health of their code, set goals, and track progress. Codigy helps teams understand the root cause in bottlenecks, or just generate a solution in one click. Engineering market is massive. Older tools measured productivity of teams. Codigy is a next generation tool. We help accelerate engineering by solving fundamental problems that ruin developer experience and efficiency. Codigy is the most visual tool that compresses massive amounts of data into visual maps that people can easily understand and use. Codigy is a B2B SaaS aimed at large and fast-growing tech companies. We use a subscription-based model and charge for each active engineer. Last year, we started big by onboarding all Vinted engineers. We spent a year fitting Codigy for the market. Start of this year showed that we're on the right track. Vinted extended their contract, and we onboarded a new batch of companies. Me and my co-founder, Anton, have bootstrapped for 3 years. We built the product for directors of engineering, validated it with customers, and now we're raising $2 million to scale sales and expand the product for platform and staff engineers. We know AI is changing the landscape of engineering, but so far, AI is missing a lot to be useful for higher level of engineering, like context of the product, architecture, databases. We believe Codigy's well-structured data and visual interface will make a breakthrough and change the way software is built and maintained. Thank you for listening. You have questions? Fire them up.
Nice. And fire they will. Jan.
You mentioned that you want to scale, or you are raising for scaling or sales. So how do you want to do that? And are you going to work with the community?
So far, we're going to approach sales. So our ICP is Series A and above. So far, we've been doing targeted sales on LinkedIn, approaching directors of engineering. But we need to expand the sales team to increase that outreach. So that's the goal for now. Yep.
So basically, you are targeting B2B, not B2C, and you are not working with the community of...
Yeah, we're B2B. Yeah.
Tamina?
Yeah, I had a similar question about go-to-market, but perhaps you could talk a little bit more about once you get those initial calls, what's the aha moment for the customer that makes them want to sign?
So if I understood the question correctly, our strategy is, so far is getting recognizable logos. Vinted is one of them. Boss and Kilo Health, the same ones. Recognizable brands with known good engineering practices and culture. This will enable us to address much wider audience in engineering community going forward. So it's a cheaper sales path for us.
All right, and one more from C.
Yeah, I have a question about the client onboarding. You said you spent a year onboarding Vinted. Why does it take so long, and is that scalable?
Thank you for the question. Actually, this year, the factual onboarding takes a week until the customer gets the value. Actual human time is a few hours maximum. A year was spent market fitting the product. Because we're based in the same city, we had the luxury of meeting engineering leadership on a weekly and monthly basis to adjust the product for practical application within large engineering culture. So by the time we finished this market fitting and started outreach more customers, we now see that their OKRs in these large companies match exactly what we do. So that was the path.
All right, that was Codergy. A round of applause.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Bitskout, which helps project teams to use AI to automate data entry.
No music? Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Ilja, CEO and co-founder of Bitskout. Bitskout is document and email data extraction tool for operational teams. Now, I know what you might be thinking. why in the world we need another document extraction tool? And that's exactly what I thought when I was building other tools for operational teams in Nokia. It's such an obvious problem. Nobody wants to input data from a document into a tool. But years passed, millions were spent, and still teams were spending 5 hours per week per employee on manual data entry. So why is that? Well, it turns out that the technology that is used to build a model per document is very complex and very expensive. It requires engineers, machine learning experts. So we quit our jobs with my co-founder and focus on building other way to do document extraction. And we built that, so you only need few examples, and it's ready with 90% of accuracy. But technology alone is not a product. What we built is a software platform where a user can log in, choose a template, purchase order, bill of lading, CV, and create a plugin, and put this plugin where they're already working, in Zapier, in Asana, and etc. So don't change the way they work right now. They get document extraction in a few clicks where they work. And because we are targeting, we're building plugins, that our vision is with one-click automation, while all the competition either tries to build something technical for developers or something complex like Rossum for enterprises, our vision is that document extraction is a very simple thing that everybody can do. And this affects our target market, which is basically the users of the tools that do operations or run projects in supply chain, logistics, or construction. But what we also noticed is that after people do extraction from a document or an email, they want something else. They create more plugins that analyze this data. They want to understand, and they put their experience into our tool, making it intelligence as a service. We raised a small round last year that allows us to strengthen our tech, run experiments, and now we are ready for the next step in scaling. We are raising a small round. We already have first term sheets, basically to hire engineers and scale our sales effort just by doing more demos and closing faster the customers. Thank you very much.
All right, that's Bitskout jury. Seam?
I have a question about the market. Isn't the market shrinking because more and more data will flow directly through integrations rather than end up in emails in a scannable format?
Well, actually, the tools that I showed you are growing 20 to 30% in the user base, in paying user base every year. And technically, today, only 35% of the companies use any cloud project management tool. So I think the market is increasing in the way people are switching from traditional on-premise or Excels into our cloud systems, and that's what we're going to target.
Susanna?
Yeah, I have a question. So you mentioned 20% of accuracy, so I was wondering what's still hindering the other 10%, and don't you feel like this is a market where it's actually, to some extent, it's a race to the accuracy with many of those tools, which, by the way, one of is our portfolio company.
Yeah, so 100% accuracy only guaranteed when there is a human check. Yeah. So a tool can reach only 99. Now, the question is, all the competition reaches 99% with a technology that costs them thousands of euros, and we reach 90% with the technology that cost us almost nothing. So adding extra step of humans validating the document extraction is very simple for us, and we're doing this right now on our platform. And the second is, many of our customers double-check the documents even after the extraction, that there are no mistakes in the documents themselves. So basically, this 10% they do with their own employees. What we remove is that these employees do not type anything.
Sorry, Robert, we won't have time for your question. Thank you to Bitskout.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Nomads Embassy, which simplifies a remote lifestyle and travel bureaucracy for digital nomads.
Hey, hello everyone. Thank you. Hi, my name is Jack. I'm a digital nomad, and I'll present to you Nomads Embassy. So picture this. You've been working remotely from a new country every month, and when crossing the border to your new destination, you hear that you have 48 hours to leave the Schengen area. This happened to us due to ignorance and misleading information found online. But with 35 million digital nomads worldwide, we knew we weren't alone in facing visa challenges. So, during those wild 48 hours, unable to find an easy solution, Nomads Embassy was conceived by our dedicated team. Over the next 12 months, we spoke with more than 100 immigration law firms, and we selected 20 of them to join our amazing team. So what did we do? We combined the expertise of 100 immigration law firms, and we created Nomads Embassy, a platform that will save you weeks in bureaucratic processes, negotiate the best market price for you, giving 24/7 customer support. A little bit of context. During the pandemic, over 30 countries launched digital nomad visas, creating a $5 billion market that has no leader so far. These kind of visas can be quite complex to obtain, usually requiring a minimum income, international health insurance, and accommodation agreements. And for this reason, we engineered a simple process by creating a secure and decentralized platform, so you don't get yelled at by a border patrol agent as we did. So I can proudly say that we are revolutionizing the immigration industry. We turned a 12-week process that usually cost $4,000 into an 8-week process for half the price. We reduced the risk of forgetting documents to 0, and we broke down language barriers. These are our data. So we acquired 15% of Google traffic in the first quarter for digital nomad visa searches. We helped 40 digital nomads, and we generated almost $30,000 in sales with a $72,000 pipeline, all without any marketing or advertising expense. Our ambitious goal is to secure 20,000 digital nomad visas by 2026 and 400,000 by 2035. We're relocating from Italy to Estonia, and that's exactly why we're here at TechChill, to meet with some top Baltic investors like you. This is Jack from Nomads Embassy. The future of immigration is calling. Are you ready to answer?
Thank you. Thank you, Jack. Jury, Tamina.
So I wanted to ask, on the customer side, do you pay for a subscription or continuous platform, or is it per visa that you pay for? And I think it said 2,000K.
Yeah, so our business model right now, we're just an MVP.
Yeah.
We launched in January, and we have revenue share with our partners. So we found immigration lawyers. We partner with one law firm per country. This is our choice. So we can provide the best service for them.
Robert?
Do you have any statistics in terms of like how many of those visas are issued annually?
Yeah, yes, we do. Right now, I just got an email yesterday from Hungary, like 906 in 2022 visas were issued just in Hungary. In Malta, so 2022 was the first year for many of the countries, so it's around 1,000 requests per country right now.
Can I have one more question? So basically, what's your expectation in terms of like the returning rate of the customers? So if someone buys a visa, like are these people like moving, I don't know, several times a year to different jurisdictions?
Exactly. We help them relocating legally and frequently. Because being a digital nomad, you don't have a home base, so you need to make your home base where you want to stay, especially for taxation purposes. So we help them doing that.
We can have one very quick one, if we have it.
I guess, could you clarify what the revenue share is with the law firms?
So right now, we pre-negotiated the pricing. So we have 40% margin in MVP already. But in the future, we plan, of course, to be a one-stop shop. So we want to reach 70–80% profit margin.
All right, thank you. This was Nomads Embassy. All right, moving on. And next up, we have SAKURA Sverige, and they have a social platform for emotional health.
Hi, everyone. So, when I was younger, I was suicidal. The main thing about my life is I had a lack of secure relationships. I was lonely. In my home country, 1 out of 4 experience loneliness. 1/10 eat antidepressants. In Europe, 30 million people are lonely. 75 million people are socially isolated. These numbers have got to stop. The problem is that people lack resources to create real and personal relationships, something that not even therapy can replace, right? We've created a platform that does 2 main things. Through an interactive network with technology as the front runner, we enable these people to access each other, people with the same needs, so they don't have to lack resources to create and establish real relationships. Not only that, we've created and established a wide searchable booking system that enables people to book sessions, events, and products from external businesses in emotional health. Because we include many different therapy forms, we offer a 6 times wider supply of therapy than competitors, and because our system matches individuals' needs, location, and budget with a specific offer, we help people find the right methods for them. In 3 months, we've established over 300 businesses into our network. We've enrolled, although we have not yet officially launched, 30 B2B official deals, with more coming. We've already helped people, like this one woman. She went from not leaving her home in 15 years to going to one of our events and now have established a real community of people to this day. To these people, it changes their lives. My team are an unstoppable and committed team. We have all experienced loneliness at first hand, which gives us a rich sensitivity to our users and a certain grit that can only come from personal experience. There are other apps for emotional health, but there's nothing on the market that combines social network with professional help. We are a free platform with a paid premium subscription. For businesses, we take a commission of 20% from all sales. We expect an ARR of 1 million euros in 2 years. And lastly, the longest study in the world shows that people need human relationships even more than they need clean air. Let's help these millions of people start to meet their human needs. We're raising 200,000 euros pre-seed. I'm Elin, we're SAKURA, and we'd love to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sure jury would love to talk to you as well. So do we have any questions? Sim.
I'll start. What is the age breakdown of this group of people who are lonely? And are they all potential customers for you? I'm assuming that the older people maybe not so app-friendly.
Sorry, can you repeat the last?
My assumption is that the elderly group won't be so ready to adopt this as the solution to build these relationships. So are you kind of somehow targeting by age?
Yes. So we know the numbers amongst elders are big when it comes to loneliness. We also know they don't have the same access to technology as the younger people do. That's why our age range are about 18 to 50, 60 years old. We're also exploring, because we know in Sweden, for example, we are at the lowest in Europe when it comes to emotional health. So we're exploring the legality of actually lowering the age rate to about 15 years old. So we're exploring that potential as well. I hope I answered your question.
Jan, I think you had a question?
Yeah, I think that one of the problem of current social media is like the security and protection against predators and like other things. So and I can imagine that like your target group will be even more vulnerable. So how do you want to protect them?
Yes, you're right. So forums and platforms can get messy. That's why we've enrolled a list of security steps. These are your regular reporting, closing down accounts. We're also exploring technology that'll help us to track certain behaviors on the platform, such as spam or irregular behaviors that are against security guidelines. So we're exploring that as well. Yes.
Okay, thank you. This was Sakura.
Yes, thank you.
Moving on, we have a no-code platform that connects data sources with your target model. Let's welcome Datum. Applause, please.
Hi everyone, I'm Luca, and I'm here to tell you what Datum is and why actually business need it. So we all live in an era of automation, and we strive to avoid routine, to save some money, to save our time, and especially for business. And imagine there are a lot of companies who still move their data from A to B manually. And the more data they have to handle, the more data engineers they have to hire. It's kind of eternity process. So to optimize time and money for data projects, we created Datum. Datum is a platform that automates your data integrations up to 80% with the help of AI. And since it is no-code platform, it can be used by non-tech people. So just a quick example. Imagine you want to build an analytics around your company, and you have to bring data in one place to do this. So you ask your managers to send you some documents. They started to send you Excel files, ERP files, CRM files, etc., etc. And you have to put it somehow in one place. So if you use manual approach, your data engineers have to open each and every file, see every column, recognize data, map it manually, and then write a code. Datum instead scans the data in documents, recognize it semantically, build mappings automatically, suggest you these mappings, and after your approval, generates a code for you. In our last integration, we put data from 12 CRM systems into one in 1 month using Datum, instead 18 months that would be used by manual approach. So we have a lot of competitors because the market is quite crowded. But the most of the tools are created by developers for developers, and we created for non-tech people, so it could be used by data analysts, and you don't need to hire very high-level engineers for this. We use B2B subscription model as a sales model, and we already have completed 10 projects and have already 3 subscribers for 1-year contract. We are fundraising to build sales and marketing in our company, to improve our R&D, and actually to build a community of ambassadors of our technology. We have a great team from Ukraine. We are all from Ukraine, and actually recently hired one guy from the US as a sales representative. So welcome for your questions.
Thank you, Datum. Jan?
Who is your customer and how does the customer acquisition process look like?
Pardon?
Who is your customer and how does the customer acquisition process look like?
So our customers are SMB companies, solution providers, and we are going to build partnership client relations with bigger companies as Airbyte and Snowflake. Customer acquisition, you mean the sum? Today it's about 12,000, I believe.
Okay.
Okay. Sim?
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question about the type of projects that you do with customers. Is it an ongoing thing? Is it a one-time project where they do the data transfer? You mentioned that the clients are paying a subscription fee, so what is the cooperation?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the task and the use case. But usually, we start our relations with clients on pilot project, and then we understand do they need like us on a recurrent base or not. Now we work with healthcare service providers, and they have this data onboarding, data customer onboarding scene, so they need us for years and years. So it a bit depends.
All right, we can have one more question. Susanna.
You mentioned in your go-to-market that you're looking to spend roughly 30% on the community-driven go-to-market. So given that you're sort of targeting the business user, I just wanted to clarify, is this sort of community-led approach among the devs, or?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we are B2B and we work with companies mostly, but to support and to grow the need and understanding of the data processes optimization, we will go to the community, of course. So it's kind of the process of supporting, I would say.
Okay, thank you. This was Datum.
Thank you.
And we have one last startup left in this batch. So let's welcome Nordics IO, which simplifies technology vendor search and contracting.
Hello, my name is Lukas. I'm from Slovakia, and I'm going to present you Nordics IO. Nordics IO is a matchmaking platform for software development companies and projects. I think you know similar platforms like Airbnb, Bolt, Vinted, etc. Very famous one. And we would like to be the best in our domain. Something similar do Upwork with the freelancers, but in our case, we are working with the software houses, and you can expect responsibility for the delivery. And this is something what clients want. Now I'm going to skip 4 slides, but the most important message I wanted to say with these slides is I think it's super important for each startup to build great development team. And even though the core team is great, the next phase, when you scale, is to build a great team. If you can make it locally, then it's perfect. In case not, just go to the platform and to find the best team in Europe, that somewhere definitely is, with the exact expertise that you are looking for your project. That's what we do, Nordics IO. We call it also European IT ecosystem. At the moment, we have 400 companies that are onboarded on the platform. We are building all-in-one solution. So from the decision, we are willing to find the company as a vendor, a remote team, until you are going to make the monthly payments and you are getting delivery. We would like to keep everything on the platform. And until now, as MVP, we signed the contracts for 1 million euros. What we do, we matchmake 2 sides. On the one side, we are looking for the best software development companies in Europe at the moment. And we would like to understand these companies. We would like to understand how many employees they have, what is the office, what is the process. But the most important is what kind of solutions they have built in the past, what kind of expertise they have, who was the clients, and what was the reviews of the clients. At the moment, we have 6,000 different case studies that we are matching with the request. And we try to analyze and to say, yes, this vendor can be good for you because they have the domain expertise that can help you to deliver the project. On the other side, we have the clients from different sizes. It can be enterprises or SMEs or startups. We are always solving for them the problem. They cannot solve with the platforms for freelancers because of the data, GDPR, and the responsibility for the delivery. So they are looking for the remote companies that can help. But of course, they always need different companies and different expertise. Business model is simple. As any other platforms, we are adding from 5 to 10% to each contract at the beginning of the cooperation. Everything else is for free, so you can come to the platform and you can just publish your request. This is our team. We can talk later about that. This is our team on one picture. And I am standing here because we are looking for the seed investment, pre-seed investment that would help us to scale and to be #1 in this area because there is no leader at the moment. Thank you very much.
Okay, one last chance for the jury to ask any questions. Sim.
Yeah, how do you deal with a typical marketplace problem, especially with projects like these, that once the initial contact is made, they go past the marketplace and just make the deal directly?
Yes, understand. Great question. We solve it every day. And of course, we have the standard contract that is solving that. And at the same time, we have the partners on the one side, there is like software houses of 370 software houses, as the companies with on average 100 employees. They are like great companies. And on the other side, we have clients. So in case they are going to fail, we are going to solve it legal way. But again, they are going to make the bad name for their company, and they are going to be out of the ecosystem. And again, the software houses, they would like to have as many clients as possible, attractive clients. So they would like to stay in the ecosystem. And at the same time, the clients would like to find the best possible vendors each time they need it. It can be any time. So in case they are going to fail, they are not going to use it anymore. And for the next month, it can be a problem.
Tamina?
I just wanted to ask on the supply side of things, what's been your strategy to make sure that you get the best software teams and can therefore get the demand?
Yes, it's infinite question. We try everything, but the most important for us is to really understand what kind of solutions they have built and what kind of teams build the solution, what was the review from the client. And there is a lot of aspects like financial and the office and the process and employees, of course. It's easy, but the hard thing is to understand what kind of solutions they built, because they would like to do everything, but it's not possible. You have the expertise.
Okay. Robert, last one.
Yeah, what's the average size of the contracted projects? You mentioned you already contracted 1 million of orders.
At the moment, it's 60,000 euros. Hopefully, it's going to go, because these companies, they are trying to use the platform, starting small, but later on, it's going to be bigger teams and bigger teams. So 60,000 euros is the average.
How much do you add to the, like, what's your take rate?
Transparently, from 5 to 10%.
Okay. Thank you. This was Nordics IO.
Thank you.
Okay, that concludes our first batch of startup pitches. Can we have a round of applause to all the startups again, please? Yes, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to stand in front of you and pitch the company in only 3 minutes. Let's thank also our jury, Jan, Susanna, Tamina, Robert, and Sim. They will head off and decide who's moving to the finals tomorrow, and all the finalists will be announced at the end of the day.